at HPIBet.com. Thank you for your business here this afternoon as the finale lines up behind the Metro Home Building Center starting gate. Lady Slipper Stakes, 2-year-old fillies, Gold Division, $17,100. Let's go back upstairs to Vance Cameron.
Rockin' Hussy. Speaking of Shadow, how about Julia? It's up to you, Tobin's Future, Our Girl Annie, Redland Miss Pretty, and Elm Grove Red Wines on the outside. Full field of 8 across the gate. It's been one of them super stakes Sunday at historic Summerside. Now it's finale time. The rough and pacing, it's up to you, leaves out. On the rail, speaking of Shadow, between them is Halmac Julia, third around the turn. Going into fourth is Tobin's Future. Our Girl Annie is fifth. Tobin's Future got a little steppy. Then up the rail, that's Rockin' Hussy. Coming up 3 wide is Elm Grove Red Wine and the trailer, Redland Miss Pretty. On the backstretch they go, led by, speaking of Shadow, in line to Mike McGuigan. Second, that's Halmac Julia. And that is Elm Grove Red Wine. Wow, is she picking them off here all the way from the grandstand side up at 29 and 1 opening quarter. Elm Grove Red Wine and Dowling clear the lead at the 3-8. Speaking of Shadow, now second. Racing from third, Halmac Julia. It's up to you goes fourth and comes to the outside. Our Girl Annie is there fifth. Racing sixth, that is Redland Miss Pretty. Seventh, Rockin' Hussy, and trailing the field, Tobin's Future. Halfway home, led by Elm Grove Red Wine in 58 and 2. We've got a new leader over to the 5-8. It's up to you is taken over. Our Girl Annie now on to be second. Third towards the rail. Racing the backstretch. We've got confusion in the backfield. 3/4 coming next. Here's Our Girl Annie to take over the lead. Racing second and moving in there is Speaking of Shadow. Back to third. It's up to you. 3/4 tripped in 1. 28 and 1. They round the turn for the second and final time. Just an eighth of a mile left to go. Our Girl Annie homeward bound. Speaking of Shadow on the outside second. It's up to you third. Deep stretch now on the wire. Our Girl Annie, she's still perfect. This time for Corey McPherson. Second is Speaking of Shadow. It's up to you third. 1:57.4.
Here comes a slow-mo replay from the afternoon's finale. Lady Slipper Stakes, 2-year-old fillies in the Gold Division. And speaking of Shadow was on the front, but then Elm Grove Red Wine came charging for the front after that quarter, 29 and 1. She was on top the half in 58 and 2. Down to the 3/4, 128 and 1. The leader there was Our Girl Annie. Speaking of Shadow, found a way out. Ducked right back into the 2-hole there to follow Our Girl Annie, but couldn't foot her in the stretch here. Our Girl Annie remains perfect, 4 for 4. 157 and 4 with a big purse, $17,100. Speaking of Shadow in there for second, It's Up to You is third, and the 8 Elm Grove Red Wine in there for fourth. So 6-2-4-8 unofficially in the finale, and we'll see Our Girl Annie in the Woodmere Standardbreds winner circle next.
Well, there's a Cinderella story behind this filly, Our Girl Annie. She just seems to write a new chapter every time she goes to the gate. She remains perfect in her freshman career. 4 trips to the gate, 4 trips to the winner's circle, and she's there right now, pacing Brown Filly 2 by Arthur Bluechip off the no pan intended Damn Win Son Kendra, owned by Blaine, Jessica, and Jennifer Tebow of Kensington. She was bred by Blaine Tebow. Eddie Doucette does the conditioning. Corey McPherson is in the driver's seat. Time for the mile in 1:57 and 4. Our Girl Annie stays perfect in a division of the Lady Slipper Gold at Summerside.